we go. Come on. We're away! We did it! Rescued Hans! Whew. And I got that book for Rosa. I wasn't sure if I was going to get that. Fucking got it.
I must admit, mes amis, the last time I have had such a suspense was when I was rescuing the King of France.
King of France.
Oui, monsieur, are surely brave, and fortune favors the brave. Yeah! Free at last!
Thank you for coming for me, Henry. You're a great friend. The best I could wish for.
After today, you may also count me among your friends. I, Vauquelin Brabant, chevalier, aventurier et voyageur. I'm at your service, mon brave Henri. And I have an excellent idea. In your honor, I shall name my new horse after you.
Pleased to meet you, Sir Vacula.
My name is Vauquelin.
Vauquelin?
Vauquelin. Vauquelin.
Vauquelin... would you mind if I just call you Brabber?
Brabant. En.
Brabant?
Que peut-on y faire? It will have to do. Do not concern yourself, mon ami. Clearly, you are not talented in any art or conversation. But at least you have courage and other skills. You carried out the entire operation truly brilliantly. I could not have done it much better myself. And look, mon ami, how the fresh air suits Monsieur Chapon. He has finally stopped drawing in self-pity.
What self-pity, damn it? I was locked up for days in a tiny stinking room.
Ah, come now, mon cher. Luck was simply not on your side for once. That is all. Now we are finally free. The time has come for grand deeds. I did not waste my time in captivity. I fought everything over diligently. Listen.
Please, I'd prefer not to.
What's troubling you, Sir Hans?
What do you think? It all turned to shit again, and I ended up in captivity. I'm thankful at least that Hanush won't have to pay von Bergov a ransom for me. I've never lived that down. But I'll still have to listen to another lecture from him about how useless I am. Or do you have a different feeling about our Trotsky mission?
True. Not everything went according to plan. Actually, almost nothing went to plan. But at least I finally got revenge on Istvan. That Horson got what he deserved. Believe me.
My Christ, you got Istvan! That's welcome news. No one will miss that fucker. Nice work, but I don't think that'll help me much with Hanush.
Jobst is hatching his plans. Soon we'll kick Sigismund out of this country, and I think the bold Sir Hans will still have a chance to prove himself.
Mais oui! I must meet your Jobst de Moravie. I have some clever ideas about how to strike against Le Roi Sigismund.
Yeah, you go and chat with Jobst. At least I can get good and drunk in the meantime. We should spur the horses on. God knows, they might be hot on our heels. Yeah! Christ, wounds. Such destruction and havoc.
War. Monsieur Chapon, you have yet to participate in a real battle. But I fought against les Valaques at Naples, and les Anglais in Bourgogne. And that is how war looks, whether in Italy or La Bohème. It is always the same.
That's not war, it's barbarism. What value did this village have?
Eh bien, I would estimate 5 courtyards. Annual revenues could be perhaps, several hundred groschen.
That's not what I meant, Bakalin. No fortress. Maybe one fortified courtyard. Practically insignificant militarily. That's not how war should be fought. This is unjust.
Do not give way to sentimentality, monsieur. A village could harbor spies and saboteurs or supply the enemy, and destroying enemy assets is an effective tool of war. Wars are not decided only in battles. There are not even many of those. To strike in the rear, make the enemy lose and bleed. That is how most conflicts are fought. However, wait a year or two, the village will be settled. The population will increase again. That is how it always happens.
But we're the nobility. Our task is to lessen the chances of such things happening.
You're right, Hans. We must find allies and put a stop to it as soon as possible, so we can save as much as we can.
Yes, but we failed in Trotsky. And now this is our punishment.
I see that short captivity has turned you into a philosopher, Lord Capon. You should apply to the Faculty of Arts before the muse lifts you again.
Yeah!
What are we looking at? Oh.
Of all the bandits in the whole wide world, we run into this pair of scoundrels.
We... I fucked everything up.
Oh, get up, lad. Everyone makes mistakes. Only a better man owns up to them. At least we know now what kind of vermin we're dealing with.
What brings you here? We just escaped from Malashov, and right now
There's no time for haste. One thing at a time, my boy. Word reached Rat-Eye that you pair got yourselves into a nice mess. I'm glad to see you both in one piece. So, let's hear it. What happened?
It's best if Henry tells you. I wasn't around for half of it.
no sooner had we spied Trotsky on the horizon than everything started to go to hell. We made camp by a pond with the intention of heading for the castle at first light, only we were ambushed by bandits in the evening. They killed all our men and took everything they could carry, including the letter for von Berghoff.
And how did you two manage to get out alive?
Just by a stroke of good luck. We were both in a bad way. We might not have made it if a local herb woman hadn't taken care of us.
Only after that, we couldn't get into the castle, though. We looked like a pair of beggars.
And the bastards treated us as such.
But you did get into Trotsky in the end, didn't you?
Von Berghoff was behaving oddly right from the start. But we had no idea what was behind it. It all came out after we set out with von Berghoff's men to deal with the bandits who were rampaging in his domain. The same ones who attacked us at the start.
Only they ambushed us and took me and Henry captive for ransom.
But it turned out these very outlaws are on our side. They're fighting for King Wenceslas on the orders of Sokol of Lamberg.
Well, I'll be damned.
So von Berghoff has been the real enemy all this time. And Zizka is actually our ally.
Zizka. Zizka. He's the captain of those outlaws. That name doesn't ring a bell.
I think you'll meet him soon enough.
What impression did he make on you?
he's some impoverished yeoman. But he's handy in a battle, and he helped us when we needed it.
He made quite an impression on me, for one. I'll be happy to see him again. But if only it didn't have to be in Raborge. Why Raborge? Of all the places in the world.
We're riding to a gathering of King Wenceslas's supporters. If fortune favors us, the future fate of the kingdom will be decided there.
If we keep standing around here gabbing about it, it'll be decided without us.
Patience, my friend. This pair have just returned from the clutches of the enemy. No doubt they have something to tell us.
Like how in the devil did you manage to escape?
I was helped by the Ruthard family, the former rulers of Malashov, in exchange for dealing with some trouble they had with Ulrich of Hraditz.
Ulrich Vavak? But he's the mint master.
Well, he won't be for long, if it comes to light that he's been putting his sticky fingers on the royal silver.
It seems you've been pretty busy.
But don't forget to say what you found out from von Bergov in Malashov.
Sigismund has convened the city council. Markvart von Aulitz will be there with him, too. The word is, Sigismund is going to make an important announcement there.
He picked a nice time for it. But at least he won't be sticking his nose into what's going on around.
I wouldn't mind getting some rest. We should probably all go. Why would they have this here if there wasn't some sort of thing? So I'm assuming I would end up being the spy. Or if I click that, I'll probably say no, we should send a spy.
Can we go to Raborsh with you? We could certainly use a drink, a bite to eat, and a comfortable bed.
I wish I could say yes, son, but the City Council Assembly is a big opportunity. Young Lord Capon will go with us to Raborsh, but you'll have to return to the city right away and try to worm your way into the town hall.
There you
What?
go.
How can I get in there? I can't just walk in off the street.
You've got the dirt on Vavak, and you don't know how to use it? Just tell him either he gets you into the council chamber, or you get him on the gallows.
It's worth a try, right?
I hope that assembly really is important. If Sigismund is just going to announce an increase in taxes, there's not much point in my being there.
Well, at least you can enjoy watching the long faces of the councillors when they hear it. And don't worry, I'll eat and drink in Raborsh on your behalf.
If I come back and find you there under lock and key again, I'll leave you to rot.
T'inquiète. I will go as well, and I will not let your friend out of my sight.
Hans? Who's this?
Vaclin Brabant, Chevalier d'Arezzo, at your service.
He was a captive of Lord von Bergov's, like me. He defended Kuddenberg against Sigismund.
In that case, he'll be a welcome guest at Raborsh.
You don't know what you're promising, Baron. Watching Sir Hans is a job and a half.
The main thing is to watch out for yourself, Henry. As soon as you can do so without raising suspicion, come and join us.
He'll manage it, but now we really need to hit the road.
Safe travel, Henry.
Adieu et bonne chance!
And to you. Hopefully we'll meet soon. I ought to go and see Rosa when I'm in town.
And now he's gone
I
again.
thought she'd like to know how it went with that book.
Yeah, let's go see Rosa. Peddler.
Hey, Hans!
rob me, I'll kill you, motherfucker.
Back already, Hans? I thought you'd be gone a lot longer.
What?
I'm not Hans. I'm Henry.
Yeah, right, Hans. And I'm King Sigismund.
Do we know each other?
Of course. It's me, Joachim. We met in Kuttenberg. We had that row about who had the right to a better pitch at the market. We nearly crossed swords at the cattle market in the morning. But come evening, we were getting boozed up together at the hangman's halter. You more than me, I reckon, seeing as you don't remember.
Where is it exactly I'm supposed to be coming back from?
You said you were off to Germany to sell your wares. I gave you some trinkets to see if you have any luck hawking them for me there. Didn't you go in the end?
You're a trader, then?
Not quite, Hans. Just a plain old huckster, like yourself.
How's business?
It's been better. Luckily, there are still enough people in Kuttenberg
What's
who
he
aren't
got?
living hand to mouth, but they still chafe at the prices, even though I haven't put them up in years.
Where do you get the goods you sell in Kuttenberg?
Wherever I can, Hans. Wherever I can. Every now and then I meet a merchant on the road who's happy to trade with me. Other times I bump into a craftsman in some backwater who makes quality stuff that doesn't cost the earth. So I peddle my wares around the country.
I'm curious to see your wares.
Wares? Trinkets and baubles, more like. But something might catch your eye.
What do you got, dude? Dog skin? What the fuck? No, I'll keep that. Ah, fuck it. Waste of time. Alrighty, right. Let's go see Rosa. Do, do. Pumping in anyone else?
God bless.
Do, 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 do.
Come closer, don't be shy.
Where?
Praise God.
Where is she? Rosa's book. It's over in there. Wait, we didn't actually read it, did we? Time to study.
I don't know what you said to the Mint Master, but he left here looking like he'd met the Grim Reaper. May God be with you, Henry.
Apparently, the city council is organizing another collection for repairs to the fortifications.
Are they out of their bloody minds? They had 2 collections just like it already. And there are still holes in the walls.
That's true. But what good are fortifications you can't defend?
I'll tell you. Good to see ya. No fucking good at all.
See?
Cheers.
I didn't say I wouldn't.
I hope you have an uneventful
I'm not
shift.
giving them a single groschen until I see cut stones, lime, scaffolding, and 20 men working their asses off. I have to go now.
She is.
By the way, like you were saying about that book,
My favourite book. Pray tell, did you find it?
as I wandered through the fortress, I stumbled upon von Bergov's chambers, and there it lay. Red leather, gold inlay, just as you said.
You really found it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. By the way, did you have any time to leaf through it and see what it's about?
I read a bit of it.
What did you think?
Well, the author doesn't spare anyone. I wonder if he holds anything at all sacred.
Sure he does. Courage, honour, loyalty. But others have already written enough about those. A writer is interested in what lies beneath the gilded veneer of orderliness and piety, because it's much more interesting.
Hold on. Who wrote this, then?
I did. Look, you've never thought about writing something.
Me? And what would I write?
How should I know? Poetry, a novel, a treatise, or a whole book?
That's a tempting notion. Who knows? In another life, I might have become a writer.
Wouldn't you want to at least give it a try?
I suppose I'm not quite sure where you're going with this.
There are still a few blank pages left, so we could finish writing it together. You and me. What do you think?
That sounds great.
We'll have plenty of light and privacy in my chambers. Will you escort me?
My pleasure.
How should I start?
Ooh.
You haven't thought of anything yet?
Now, I have many ideas, but we must contribute in equal part.
Both?
Alright, here we go.
Well, fine. And what should I do?
Just tell me what you'd like to read about. A tale of a man or a woman? I'll take careful notes of everything.
Well, being a man myself, a man, I suppose.
Why not? And what kind of a man is he?
You mean I have to think up a name?
You don't need to, but try to describe him so I can better imagine him. With a single word, even.
There've already been enough heroes, saints, kings, and martyrs. So an ordinary person.
That's 2 words, but I'll forgive you. And do you want it to be an ordinary villain or an ordinary do-gooder?
Make him a do-gooder. But he can also have some bad traits to make it believable.
Very well. And what kind?
What if he were a bit of a womanizer? But a decent fella otherwise.
And that strikes you as an excusable bad trait? I will engage in no such defense.
He could make fun of people, but not know when to stop. I know many people with the same bad habit.
Sure, why not? But in the end, his jesting should save him from punishment. so it ends well. I like those stories best anyways. Well, just about finished.
Well, let's have a look.
Not yet. Something's missing.
What?
A picture. I don't trust myself with proper illumination, but I think I can handle a sketch, especially if you'll be my model.
What? And what on earth do I have to do?
Have you
Oh,
ever
look
seen
out.
a heron? Imitate one.
A heron? Well, maybe like this?
Well, now we're done.
Oh, finally. I'm sore all over.
Your suffering is over. Come take a look at what we've done. Your reward. Fear not, the ink has already dried.
Oh, fuck. Once upon a time there was a cook. His name was Witzbold. And one afternoon he was preparing his master a heron for dinner. The bird was already toasted, and the cook was just cutting fresh bread to nibble on, when a maid he was very fond of came into the kitchen. Witzbold, what a smell. She gasped. Would you give me a sign? I'm not giving you anything, he protested. That's a heron for our master. If you're so stingy, I'll also be tonight, the maid retorted. The cook was mortified, gave the girl a heron's leg and hurried to the dinner hall with the rest of the rest. The master immediately noticed that the bird was missing one leg. He called Witzbold back and demanded an explanation. My lord, herons have just one leg and therefore one thigh, Witzbold replied. What are you saying, cook? Do you take me for a fool? The master fumed. It is as I say, sir. If you want to see for yourself, I'll show you. The gentleman, convinced that the cook was lying, agreed. The next morning they went together to the pond, where a whole flock of herons were sleeping by the banks. Their heads were tucked under their wings, and they were actually standing on one leg. So you see, sir, one bird, one leg, the cook pointed out triumphantly. The gentleman, however, did not accept defeat. He put his hands to his mouth and shouted, shoo, until all the herons flew to the sky. Clearly they both saw that they had two legs, like any other bird. Well, cook, are you still going to tell me that they only have one leg for the master? Oh no, sir, Witzbold defended himself. But you didn't shoo at dinner last night either. Had you done so, certainly the other leg would have grown on the roast. It served the Lord's honour that he laughed heartily instead of thinking of punishment. Witzbold appreciated it and never again presented him with an incomplete dinner. Oh, there you go.
So what about that story of ours? Tell me your impressions.
That's nice. A bit didactic, but not to the point of boring moral bludgeoning. And that's the way it should be. Sermons for ordinary people work in a similar way. They entertain and encourage, with a few lessons added in between.
You see, when I lead mass one of these days, I'll certainly think of you. And what about the sketch? For such a slapdash job, it's not bad, right?
Oh, it's pretty, really. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that.
I know I'm no master illuminator, but otherwise, I think we can be quite satisfied. And thank you for the help. I really enjoyed it.
Well, So did I. And for that matter, you're an interesting girl, and I'd like to get to know you a little better.
No beating around the bush. How about that? Please do stop by sometime. I wager it will be enlightening for both of us. Perhaps I can show you my collection of hunting trophies.
I'm always glad to see polite people like you. God be with you.
Cheers. I hope you have an uneventful shift.
How do I get out of it? This way?
Christ! Pardon me.
Must have landed on the head, I think. Where do I get mutt back? Yeah, well. Chat to Vivek. Fuck. Let's try and get into the city council meeting.
Help out a wretch. Give the suffering woman a few coins.
Oh, that shit. I dropped your cooked chook. There's chicken there. Chicken.
Look at that. I think I'll take it.
Yeah, chicken. Chicken. Take the chicken.
That's
Right.
mine now.
Yeah, fucking dropped it there for you.
God grant you health.
What about you? You want something? All out of chickens. Yeah, fucking 3 of these. Alright. Quick, get it before it rolls in the drain.
This could come in handy.
Yeah, it could. It's fucking food, mate. You hurry up.
It's mine now.
Me being Mr. Generous. Fucking too many of yous. Too many of yous, I tell you. I'll give you something though. You can have a dried apple. And an onion. Actually. A dried apple and fucking 5 onions. There you go. Make it apple and onion soup.
Oh, people, show mercy. Do a good deed.
Is she gonna get that shit? Onions, I dropped you some onions. Hey, beggars can't be choosers.
Coins. God will repay you.
Fucking onions there, go sell them.
Hail.
You know. Doesn't deserve anything. Look at you, buddy. you some mead. Two beef. Ready for you?
For the love of Christ, spare a few coins for a wretch. Help out a
Careful.
You.
This could come in handy.
He's taking your food, dude.
Looky here! I reckon I'll take that.
Mine.
It's mine now.
Well, you got the mead then, anyway. Fucking Capon's got me fucking motherfucker. He's got me fucking St. Valentine's sword.
Lord be with you.
Fisherman.
What can I do for you?
Show me your wares.
Crayfish? I haven't seen crayfish before.
I
I
hope
don't
you
eat
find
fish.
what you're looking for next time, good sir.
Fish stink. This whole place would stink. Especially back then with no refrigeration.
Come closer.
It's a
Don't
bit
be
of fucking
shy.
horrible
Quality
stench
goods
around
here.
here.
Greetings. Greetings to you.
Fisherman's over there. Why have you got fish here, dude? You're a fisherman too?
Jesus Christ
Jesus.
be praised.
This whole fucking area stinks. What are you looking at? Alright. What are we doing? We could go... suppose we could go see for fact. Point of interest, tipster. So anyway, we're gonna go all the way up here. And there. And ding.
Women are made of strong stuff.
I'll drop by and visit her sometime.
Are we really going to stand for it? Burn down that... The fire will purify us.
I swear you came in and gave that message to Von Burgo not long ago.
Wie geht's, mein Herr?
Show me your wares.
Show me your wares.
Fuck that. Need to make another search short sword. Yeah. Just fucking buy one of those for now.
Thank you, sir, and come again.
Here we go. Where's Kit? Alright, well we got a replacement sword. Not that I use that short sword and shield much anyway, but it's there just in case.
Greetings.
Yeah, greetings. Can I talk to you?
I'm going to see the Mint Master. May I enter?
Any fool could say that. What do you want from him?
I have an appointment with him.
All right. Go ahead then. But don't waste too much of his time.
Do what I fucking like. Conrad the Kite. You.
Glad to see you again.
You have the gall to show me your face again? I'll call
Sure
the
do.
guards.
Hold your horses. I'll come in peace. Actually, I have a little offer for you.
You've come to blackmail me again?
Call it what you like. I need to get into the City Council Assembly. And I reckon you can help me.
The assembly? The one King Sigismund is supposed to attend in person?
Surely you wouldn't deny me a chance to meet the king?
Don't try that on me. This is connected with Ruthard, isn't it? And tell the truth.
I want to know what Sigismund tells the council. I hear it'll be important.
You want to spy? Do you know what you're risking? And what I'd be risking? Forget it.
Have you forgotten I have you over a barrel? If you want to keep your position and your head on your shoulders, you better shape up.
All right, all right. Maybe we can make a deal. If I get you into the council, you'll behave appropriately and you won't betray yourself, or especially me. And that will be the end of our business together.
And how about a few groschen to seal our fruitful relationship?
You're worse than a horse dealer. Have it your way, then. You can get into the council assembly relatively easily. My cook's son will be serving there. He's roughly around your age. Maybe he can be persuaded to let you stand in for him. Although, not everyone would want to give up an opportunity to serve the King of Hungary.
Who's this boy?
Franta's his name. Franta Cooldown. He's an idler and a boozer, but he's proved his worth as a waiter. Which reminds me, you'll need his letter of permission to serve in the council. Otherwise, you won't be let inside.
What will I need to work as a waiter there?
Fast feet and good manners. And the livery of a royal waiter.
Excuse me?
Do you think you can serve the king in a torn shirt and muddy hose?
Well, no. But I never heard about any livery before.
Our usual waiter had a brand new livery made specially for meeting the king. Don't even show up there without it.
Where can I find the cook's boy?
He's supposed to pick up his new clothes at the market today from Master Tailor Schneider. You'll almost certainly run into him there. That is, if he's up and about after his boozing bout. I swear that fellow practically lives at that Tin Hen.
At the what?
That German alehouse, the Iron Eagle. That is Zum Eisernen Adler.
What would work on him? How can I persuade him to give me his job?
Would you like me to give you a letter for him? I told you how to get to the assembly. Now do your part.
I'll be going then. See you at the council.
Just make sure we both come out of it alive.
Careful.
Greetings. I'm sorry.
Quality goods, the finest wares. The finest.
God
Full hot lids, the finest mugs. Mugs for sale. Pots for sale. Big strong pot. Pots here, twice fired.
Fuck is he walking around?
I've just got this. The best fabric. The finest work.
Franta.
Greetings. I'd like to...
Surely you can wait a while. I have a customer here. Here you are. The finest fabric. Intricate work. You won't find the likes anywhere else in this town.
No more than I'd expect after the amount they cost. Thanks. I'll gladly recommend you if anyone asks. And you impatient fella, what was it you wanted?
You must be Franta Cooldown.
I am. And who might you be?
I'm Henry. I heard you're supposed to serve at the City Council Assembly.
I am. What's it to you?
Supposing I took the job on for you. You can put your feet up, fill your belly, and I'll do all the work for you.
Look here. It's not like I'm all that keen on it, but it's well paid. Apart from that, it's a bit of a pain in the arse. Them councillors stuffing their faces and guzzling wine, while I run around like a bugger with pitchers so they don't run dry. Why would you want to stick your nose in there?
Let me put it another way. How much do you want for your place?
Finally, some sensible talk. But it won't come cheap. When I count it all up, new clothes, wages, a backhander to get in there at all, not to mention the coin I'd make in other places if I could say I served the King of Hungary.
Fuck me.
Try and look on it as an investment in the future.
What are you blabbering about?
If you forget about the payment, I promise I'll do a great job. If anyone asks, I'll say the great Franta Cooldown taught me, and then people will be jostling to hire you.
And what if I insist that you pay?
Oh, I might accidentally spill wine on His Majesty's shoes.
If that's how you want it. But if I hear a single complaint against my name, I'll find you and deal with you. Got it?
Absolutely.
To begin with, you'll need confirmation that you've worked as a waiter at the council and you're capable of serving even His Majesty. Look here. Do you have any idea what's expected of you? Can you tell different wines apart and that?
Of course. Who do you take me for?
All right. No need to get upset. Show the confirmation to the head butler. Tell him I sent you and think up some good excuse. Clear?
That makes sense.
And you'll need a waiter's livery. I had a brand new one made. Here it is. I look like a prick in it. Hopefully it'll sit better on you. The main thing is, don't lose it before the assembly or get it covered in shit.
Thanks. I won't disgrace you, I promise.
You better not.
Have a ball as well. Sound as a bell.
Linen canvas. The softest linen canvas. Come and buy the
Come and
finest
take a
canvas.
gander. We've got it all.
But it was just a...
Report for duty. What's it say?
Dye broadcloth. Beautiful colour.
Haven't you got an ounce of
God
shame?
bless you.
Well,
Sound as a bell. Better the pillory than the noose.
guess we should get changed. The hat. Should we take it off? Take that other shit off. Can't be wearing noble gloves. Shoes don't really matter, I don't think. I'll leave the spectacles on.
Jugs here, big and small. Jugs for sale. Fair prices. Fine wares.
Great.
Fine day for some
Oh,
fun.
those fucking shoes. I know this shit out of them. Those shoes. They're too fucking tiny. Those shoes.
Wares. Come and take your pick.
You're in need of money.
Haven't you got an ounce of shame?
Gallows for the wicked. Isn't it a bit early for that? It's ages till St. Wenceslas Day. And they don't collect tithes before then.
You're right.
Okay, let's.
Well, if I did, I wouldn't leave it till the last moment this year.
Yeah, fuck it, we'll do this mission. Save it. So, before we start this mission, let's do a shave. Do I have it?
Good day.
You.
Franta Cooldown sent me. I'm to stand in for him at the council assembly.
Franta's not coming? What's wrong with him?
See, we'll see. Files won't work, old church, can't say he's drunk. If they've hurt me, so I can just say sick.
He got poisoned. Probably from food. He's writhing in agony. By turns praying and cursing, spewing from both ends.
Oh, that's enough. All right. At least you're here. We can't be without a waiter here, when the king himself will need waiting on. So, let's have a look at you. Have you got Franta's certificate?
Sure. Here it is.
Everything's in order. Now, about your livery. You've got a waiter's cap, a tunic you have. Hose are good. It's a good thing you've got no steel on you. You need to be light on your feet to run around tables. Everything as it should be. Glad to see it, lad. Do you know what your duties are? For an inexperienced greenhorn like you, it'll be a great responsibility.
Well, I'll happily listen to any advice. I wouldn't want to foul things up.
I should certainly hope not. Now listen. A good waiter should stand in a corner, look willing and ready, and not get in anyone's way. In short, behave as if you're not there. But when one of the gentlemen calls for wine, you run and pour it for him on the double. You'll find the pitchers on a table by the door to the chapel. You take one and go to their table and pour for them. White Tokaib or red monastery wine.
White or red, by the door to the chapel. Got it.
But for Councillor Adam of Zarjitz, you must not pour at all. When he drinks, he disrupts and makes trouble. So the assembly has to be interrupted, or otherwise it never reaches an end. We can't allow that to happen in the presence of the king.
All right. Sir Adam of Zarjit stays dry.
And if the king himself wants wine, you pour for him with lowered eyes. Don't look at him. And the most important thing?
Remember who wants what?
That too, but more importantly, do not disturb the councillors at their work. They have a lot to discuss. And in general, a good waiter has to be invisible, blind, and deaf.
Oh? I thought I had to keep my ears pricked.
Well, yes, but only to what anyone wants from you. No excuses, and provide everything that anyone wants from you. Understood?
What?
What if I make a mess of something, though?
Then I'll see to it that you won't get a job even mopping the floor in the hole in the wall. But I'm sure that's not going to happen. So, are you prepared?
I know everything I need to. I can do it.
Excellent. Put away your things here. It's easier to serve with a lighter load. You can wait in the cubbyhole for the servants.
Pouring wine. I guess we're out of wine. Tagaji Wine Monastery. Right. Alright. Just the one there.
Boy,
Should the
I'd like
town
some white.
reserve have worse weapons than any räuber in the domain?
What are you getting at, Eldris?
I'm saying that the bandits who freed Hinnick, the Dry Devil, used that thing. That Hackenbücher.
Boy, are you
hand
deaf?
cannon?
Why?
Can you believe it?
White.
Where did they get them?
You're the one who should know where they got them, since you're a gunsmith.
What are you implying, Friedrich?
You wanna do
All
what?
I'm saying is that they had them, Herrgott.
Boy, are
It
you
is
deaf
eine
or something?
Schande when
Why?
outlaws
White.
have better weapons than the city garrison. And Herr König surely knows this too.
What is it, Eldris? You smell a deal?
What I smell is that your stubborn heads do not realize what Schwierigkeit
Thank you,
this
Waiter.
is. The Dry Devil is running free. There are Raubricker everywhere in the region. We have the army bearing down, and you want to defend yourselves with a few rusty halberds.
And who is it you want to fight, exactly? The merciful King Sigismund is providing us with protection, isn't he?
Der König and his army will not be here forever.
I'd like some monastery
Shut
wine.
up!
Refill
The
my
king
cup,
can
boy.
arrive at any moment. What if he heard you?
What then? We're sitting atop the biggest silver heap in the kingdom, and we're supposed to defend it with brooms?
You're right, Eldris.
Monastery
Where can
wine.
we get the
Here.
sort for better equipment?
We can always confiscate the property of the king's
Well,
enemies.
thank the Lord.
Nicht wahr?
We are more than familiar with the jämmerlich state of our armory. And the king is surely aware of it as well. Maybe if he waived some of the taxes?
The king fears that this town will rise against him. He'll take the arming of the city's militia as a preparation for war.
So you suggest we just wait with arms crossed for the Raubritter to wreak havoc all around?
We can always ask the king to bring order to the realm with his army.
Have I already
Then the
said?
Dörfler will rise up.
I'm afraid I see no solution of the current situation. We shall wait and see what His Majesty thinks about the matter. Maybe we can change his mind.
Well,
if you
thank
like.
the Lord. I'd like to report to the Honourable Council on the cleanliness of the city and the
Oh
state
fuck!
of
I've given fucking alcohol to
Some
guys.
rags.
Supposed to stay dry.
Isn't it the same thing?
I'd like to oblige, but I'm not allowed.
So,
Do
the
you see
cleanliness
that?
of the city
Even
is
the
not
waiter is having a
what
laugh
it should
at
be.
us.
The current baths in the city fall far short of covering all the citizens' needs.
But we have another bathhouse here, on Hoppering.
My friend Adam from the baths in Haradek district told me about it. He says it's filthy.
Nonsense. He's just envious. Betty seized the opportunity,
Who?
and people are lining up to bathe there.
Is that true?
I'd find it hard to believe. A woman?
No, really. Clean, warm, wine, a good week, and don't get me started on the wenches.
So don't start.
All right, I'll go over there and investigate.
Boy,
the need for
like
cleanliness
some wine.
and citizens' health should not be underestimated.
Nor overestimate.
Sorry?
If someone needs to wash, there's a river just a few steps from the city
About
wall.
time.
Certainly. And they can get leeches there for free as well. And while he's there, a man can shave and take a...
My
know
cup
what.
is empty.
So what? Going to the
Pour
bath
me
is
some
neither a
wine.
civic
To
duty
oblige,
nor
but
a right.
I'm not allowed.
Have you forgotten
Do you
the
see
Black
that?
Death?
Even the
A great
waiter is
many
having a
people
laugh at
died
us.
needlessly.
Are you questioning God's plan? The Black Death had nothing to do with the baths, unless the Lord wishes to punish the wickedness that's going on in there.
Keeping the city clean is important, but we don't have money to spare. Arguing about who is going to wash where and how is a waste of time.
I got word that Rutard has pulled off another deed.
That's nothing unusual. That old weasel will never accept that the city isn't run his way, at least until His Majesty honors us with his visit. And as we know, Gunslin absolutely hates
I fancy
him.
some Tokai.
He can hate all he
Refill,
wants,
boy.
as long as he does no damage. Ulrich, what have you got to say about it?
Me? Well, I'm not sure what you're implying.
Horseshit! You know full well. Everybody
Well,
knows. He wiped the floor with you.
Compose yourself, Adam, and stop drinking. The king might come any time now.
That's right. Let's
I
not
did stop
burden
him.
the
I
anointed
gave him
monarch
one.
with such...
He's asked for 2
Me?
more since then.
Compose myself. Me? I beg your
Okay,
pardon.
and a full cup.
I demand that you...
Ruhe! Franz, please continue.
I'm speaking about the Rutard incident. You were there, weren't you?
Oh, that.
Thank you,
Just a
waiter.
small misunderstanding. We've sorted it out and everything's settled.
My ears must be deceiving me. Are you defending Rutard?
So I'm just-
Besides,
I'm just
if
a
his
waiter.
men attacked yours, as I've heard, then we have a good reason to punish him.
What happened there? Leave nothing out.
I don't like Rutard, true, but in this case it really was nothing.
Everyone in the city gossiped about it. I heard there were several
waiter.
dead.
Did
Pour
you?
me some monastery
That's
wine.
grossly exaggerated. I don't think Rutard will cause any trouble. He is sensible enough not to draw attention to himself while the king is here.
That's true. Because if we don't
Monastery
do
wine.
something about him,
Here.
the king himself will put an end to him, and soon.
Well, thank the Lord.
Unless he puts an end to us first. God knows what he wants to tell us.
If nothing happens, there's no point in dwelling on it. Let's move on.
Things have got out of order in the town. Some adventurers decided to take the law into their own hands and restore the tradition of duels. It's not only barbaric, but also illegal. I could understand it with mercenaries, students, and other scum
Waiter,
of all kinds.
get me
but
what?
city councillors?
Are you blaming one of us?
Ah, and look who spoke first.
First of all, it wasn't the duel.
Sir?
Supposed to be an honorable combat. And I didn't even take part in it. Buddy, you should point the finger at the youngster here who's...
Excuse me?
Ah, never mind.
Hey!
I
Waiter!
suspect the gentleman from the city's sword-fighting school brought this custom to us.
What
That
do you want?
German, Menhard, is just hanging around the market looking for trouble.
Don't
Hey,
be
boy!
ridiculous,
A word!
Forsucker.
Refill, sir?
You act
Do you think
like
I
you've
come to the
never been in
council
a
just to
fight
guzzle
yourself.
wine? Come
I feel
here!
accused.
What can I help you with, sir?
I left my gloves in the chapel. I took them off to pray, but then I rushed here and forgot to take them. I can't just get up and walk out now. But if
off.
you disappear for a little while,
I really shouldn't, sir.
a fine servant you are.
The guards are apparently settling accounts their own way. We'll soon be the laughing
Come
stock of
here,
the whole
Fred.
town.
Sorry. And bring that red with you.
Sure, the whole
I'm
town's
sorry, sir.
already laughing at us.
Orders from above.
Do you see that? Even the waiter's having a laugh at
My
us.
words exactly. The town council is squabbling constantly at the Emperor Charles, and no one is left unscathed.
And you, a councillor, let people throw dirt on our work?
If I threw out everyone who complains over a beer, I'd soon be out of customers.
Ah, the hell with it. We'll never get anywhere like this. Why waste our time?
Since there is the eternal dispute over the cathedrals, the building of the church is dragging on, and in the meantime, they are calling diocesan pilgrimages to settlers, right under our noses. It's just a village with a monastery, and they are going to make a royal mining city. Why can't we build faster? Hire more craftsmen, start with night shifts.
Because those so-called craftsmen are a band of
I'll have a cup of
parasites.
white.
You pay them,
Nice big one.
they come late, or report sick, and if they do come, their work is shit, and you have to pay someone else to put it right. It's a waste of time.
You,
I tell you,
You
a
look
waste
familiar
of
to
time.
me.
Adam,
Have we met?
don't interrupt
Well, naturally.
proceedings with your
I go
drunken
to your tavern
friend.
almost every day.
Really?
You are, right. And
Then
as
you
for
must have decent wages to be
Haven't
able
you
to visit the
noticed
best
there's a
tavern in
water
town regularly.
Are the experts from far off supposed to work in a city under siege?
Besides, I get the feeling there's something other than the welfare of the city behind your complaints.
Oh, you do? Do you? And what would that be?
Like, for instance, that you'd like to have your own altar there?
So what if I would?
Hold your horses, gentlemen. That space in the side nave is mine.
Then hell freezes over, mein Freund. Your place is at least 2 steps behind mine.
A swordsmith dares to insult me? Ha!
Sir?
I think not.
Excuse me? You wanted to buy yourself an altar in the cathedral, just like you bought yourself a seat in this council.
How dare you? I acquired my seat for the services our guild provided and still provides to the crown.
Well, I hope you're not supplying equipment to the army. If that's all they have, they would be defeated by that bunch of ne'er-do-wells from the alehouse on Hopbrink.
What ne'er-do-wells?
Those wrestlers of theirs, of course.
Sir?
People from the whole town go to watch them brawl.
Oh, this
Thank you,
is to me.
Because it has all been
Who the
sorted
fuck's the
out.
king?
Not long ago, the guards raided and threw them all out.
Ah, yes, I had forgotten. What do we have to discuss next?
Here we go.
I'm telling you, something is being planned.
Oh, I doubt it. No one's gonna tackle Rootard.
Azonal Gyuchek Össe, Elegiop Katonaikat, ich Kelkinek Udra.
You have nothing to fear. Not you.
Unlike this plan of false!
Come now, Father. Put a little life into your dying. Seen more cheerful priests at funerals.
I'd rather be at one than here. I hoped I'd never see this fortress again in my life.
Unpleasant memories?
You have no idea. I didn't part ways with my father on entirely good terms. 20 years ago.
And now you're 2 decades older and wiser. At your Ujit's parish, you spread the word of God to your flock, and you saved my neck and Henry's too. I'd say your father should be proud of you.
None of that matters a damn to him.
Who knows? Maybe that 20 years has changed a thing or two.
You know what? Let's drop the subject. Do you know any of the guests here?
Most of them I'm seeing for the first time in my life. It's a pretty varied company. We've had bandits, nobles, burghers, a priest, and even a rabbi coming together here. It's like the start of some joke.
Wait a moment. Rabbi, you say? The Kuttenberg rabbi?
Yeah. He came with a retinue. But for now, they're keeping mostly to themselves. Maybe you should go and welcome some of them. After all, this used to be your home. And you're a spiritual man too, so you should have something in common.
I wouldn't be too sure. But I suppose I can try. Who's that French fellow you brought here from Malashov?
The great Baron Brabant. Been everywhere, knows everything, and has the keys to half the kingdom. He's got more fairy tales than my old nanny.
Can he be trusted?
He's a blabbermouth, but a harmless one. Besides, he defended Kuttenberg, and you know how that went. If he were on Sigismund's side, he'd hardly have been locked up with me.
How does it feel to breathe free air again?
What can I say? You can never truly appreciate freedom until someone locks you up for a while.
Or until you become a priest.
No fear of that in my case. I intend to enjoy life to the full. Wine, women, and song.
What do you plan to do now you're a free man again?
What do you think? Get drunk, woo one of the local wenches, and wake up in the morning with no hose and a head like a church bell.
Have you perchance forgotten we're supposed to be deciding the future of the kingdom here?
I'll leave that to the older and wiser. And duller.
Dear me. I'd rather creep off into some corner with a full wineskin. But I suppose I'll have to introduce myself to the rest of the guests, eh?
Indeed you should. After all, you are one of the lords of Rabosh.
Oh, don't start with that. I'd like to steer clear of the old man as long as I can.
In that case, you should sound out Radzig and Hanush and find out what they're actually planning.
To your health, my friend. Thank you.
There's someone else there to talk to. Who's the rabbi? Someone.
I'm afraid it'd be easier to make a deal with those hares than with him. I understand.
Him.
Good health to you, sir. I'm Godwin, a friend of that lad you arrived with, Henry. We don't know each other.
Baron Vauquelin Brabant, Chevalier d'Arezzo. The last of my line. I am a warrior, a traveler, a strategist, and also, à ma manière, a poet.
My word. Isn't that exhausting?
Mais non! And I'm glad to meet a new friend.
It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Baron. I knew right away we'd hit it off. How did you end up imprisoned in Malashov?
Ah, c'est une histoire compliquée. It was after I heroically led the defense of Kuttenberg, and only lost it narrowly by an unfortunate turn of events.
That needs some explanation. What unfortunate turn of events?
Oh, misère. It is clear you have never been to war.
So, Be so kind as to enlighten me.
When they broke through the defense, I ended up in captivity. It was only due to my acquaintances in a court that I escaped execution.
Oh? I thought it was Henry who saved your neck.
My neck was not at risk in Maleshov. I may have still been a prisoner with my personal freedom restricted, but they never broke my spirit.
You say you're a poet? How about a verse or two to amuse us?
Jamais. Is poetry nothing but a farce to you? Is a poet a gesture for amusement? I think not. To recite, I require the proper mood. And besides, few here would understand me.
Where have you been on your travels? Have you seen the ocean?
But of course! I was born by the sea. If you are interested in my greatest journeys, then I have traveled with a merchant caravan all the way to the Ottoman Empire. And if you are interested in my greatest deed, then that was perhaps saving the life of the King of France.
And you wouldn't by any chance know the Pope, personally?
Which one do you mean? I spoke briefly with Boniface IX when I was sojourning in Rome. A pleasant fellow.
How come almost nobody here knows you?
I am operating, as they say. Incognito. My great benefit is my strong connection with the French court. There, everyone knows my name. Here in Bohemia, I'm still building my reputation, slowly, but surely.
Okay, I don't think we can trust him at all. Yeah.
Mark my words, they'll be at each other's throats before dinner.
What the fuck? Like, has he got all the shit that... no. Why is... Why's he got all this random fucking shit?
Life or death.
Yeah.
Warring against the king of hunger.
Such rare guests. One wouldn't expect to find among Christians representatives of your community. I'm Godwin. My greetings to you.
Peace be with you. Neither would one expect a priest here. And yet...
How do you know I'm a priest?
It's not difficult to tell. After all, we have much in common. And we are both a little on unfamiliar ground here. I'm Yehuda, leader of the rabbinical court in the sacred community of Gutenberg. And this is Samuel, my aide.
Who would rather not be here at all. Why did we have to come here, Sadie? Can you not see everyone is staring at us?
Because we all need to help each other in this time of need. And why would they not stare when you are frowning so?
Are you here to arrange some trade?
We have more serious matters to attend to here than gaining a few groschen. The situation in the town and the kingdom is unsustainable. The whole land is on the brink of destruction. You have men and weapons. We have the means to sustain them.
Why are you telling this to a Koimer? You wanted to deliver what we brought to the Margrave and quickly leave.
Everything in good time, Samuel. We have just arrived, after all.
Did you come to lend money to the lords?
Not to lend, but to give. Help given to the needy is repaid only by God.
You don't even know if you can trust them. With that money, we could have paid mercenaries ourselves.
You remind me of my young friend Henry. He's a bit of a hothead, too.
Henry? That messenger of Radzik Copula?
You know each other. You're both around the same age.
That would be him. But we did not get off to a very good start.
I reckon the two of you would hit it off. He's reliable, and has his heart in the right place. For a young stripling, he's been through plenty. It's not so long since his parents were killed in Skalitz. He was supposed to become a blacksmith, and instead, he's roaming the world, risking his neck at every turn.
Wait, a blacksmith, you say? From Skalitz?
Aye, that's right. Did you know anyone there?
I knew of someone. A blacksmith by the name of Martin.
My daughter knew him most, and that is why Samuel is in this world. For our numerous sins.
Maybe he was my father, but he certainly didn't act like one. Ma raised me on her own.
And that was all for the best.
Why? He should have taken care of me, but instead he fathered another bastard.
Don't make hasty judgments. As far as I know, Martin didn't have any other children. At least, none of his own. He took in Henry, and raised him as his own, on the orders of the Lord of Skalitz, Sir Radzik Copula, Henry's real father.
I don't care if he took care of 20 other Mamsas.
That boy's blood father denied him, just like yours did to you.
A person can't choose their parents. And Henry only found out about it recently.
Enough. I'd rather have a drink. Will you have one too, Zayde?
For that, there will be more suitable times.
Good health.
L'chaim.
Dear friends and allies, in these troublesome times, you all know why we're here. The question remains, what to do next? Sigismund is facing troubles in Hungary, and here, too, he is up against resistance. He's a capable strategist, but a poor diplomat. Mark my words. If we wait him out until winter, he will leave of his own accord.
By winter, he'll have torched all our fortresses and carried off everything that we possess.
Are we seriously gonna wait and cower in a corner? Or are we gonna drive them out in shame? A few well-planned raids and we could have him in our fists!
At what price? Have you got men to spare? Has any of you got men and money to spare?
We don't have men out there.
Yes, we do.
We do not.
Jobst is right. That whole sun won't fall easily.
Only we can't wait.
Are we to get ourselves killed?
Or end with nothing?
I'm not going to die.
Friends, we'll get nowhere like this. Let's adjourn ourselves and try to think it through.
Well, that went just as expected. Good health.
And to yours. Could it have gone any other way when there's so many of us here?
I would have expected a bit more sense from Jobst, of all people. He made an amateur's mistake. But it's hard to be angry with him when he's trying to ingratiate himself with everyone. By the way, I'm John of Liechtenstein. And you must be Godwin, the son of...
That's not a thing I've ever boasted of. How do you know that?
I have my sources. From what I've heard about you, I'd judge you could be quite useful to me at today's gathering.
Is that so?
Indeed. And that's why I'd like to ask something of you.
It depends what it's all about.
A little delicate diplomacy. I expect we can agree that Jobst's plan has certain shortcomings?
That's a weak word.
And the way it stands at the moment, he'll never get the support of the council. But I have an idea how to change that.
Well, I'm curious how you hope to shut Zizka up and satisfy the ones who want peace.
We'll sit and wait quietly until Sigismund withdraws of his own volition, as Jobst proposes, but we'll be waiting in the military camp of our huge new army.
If Sigismund decides to mount an attack on the camp, it'd be a massacre.
Ah, but it won't. Sigismund's army is demoralized and weakened. And besides, he's running out of resources. He's able to tackle fortresses that aren't able to defend themselves, but he won't engage an equal force on the battlefield.
But he can't retreat either. That would be a disgrace.
And that's exactly why we'll wait until he's called back to Hungary by events there. For the plan to work, we need allies, their money and their determination. We've already set the ground for it. We just need negotiators who will push the right people in the right direction.
Are you saying you set everything in motion even before Jobst?
More like in parallel, but without his knowledge. If we find support and make it look like the whole thing was his idea, we'll all win.
Why are you doing all this anyway?
Because I want to put a stop to the senseless deaths. And also because I'm happier with Wenceslas on the Bohemian throne.
You've got an interesting way of approaching things.
You're certainly not the first to tell me that. I take it as a compliment.
I'll help you. What exactly should I do?
I'll give you 3 names. Bocek of Kunstadt, Hamann Alder, and Anna of Waldstein. If you can get those 3 on our side, we've won the day. Meanwhile, I'll take care of Jobst.
What if it doesn't work?
I refuse to even consider that outcome. Because it would mean slow, but certain defeat for all of us.
Why me, of all people?
Because you've got a head on your shoulders. You know how to talk, and you're not just out for your own good. You and your friend Henry are similar in that respect. That's why I know I can count on you both. There aren't many like you two left.
I'll get on it then. Wish me luck.
I wish us both luck. Before the day is over, the die will be cast.
Success to our plans.
Alright, back. I know this.
God be with you, noble lady. There's something I'd like to ask of you.
God be with you. What would that be?
Your diplomatic support. And your money.
No beating around the bush, eh? I like that. But what do you want my money for?
Margrave Job's plan has some gaps, milady. We need to gather enough resources to...
To muster an army that Margrave can't afford on his own?
Christ. Be praised. You're astute.
I should say so. All sorts of people have their eyes on my money, and divining their intentions is a necessity. Although, between the 2 of us, it isn't hard to figure out what Liechtenstein is after.
How do you know Liechtenstein's behind it?
I know most of the people here very well. Many of them certainly have doubts about the Margrave's plans. but they wouldn't dream of stating them aloud. While it seems that Lord Liechtenstein, on the contrary, sees his opportunity.
I'd say you have a better nose for people than most of this crowd.
Not only for people, but also for good food and wine. And beneficial deals.
Then you're in the right place. This occasion provides all of those things.
The wine here is average. The cooks lack imagination. And I have yet to hear any interesting offers. So, to the point. What is it that Liechtenstein wants from me?
Nothing more than support and resources for an army to parley more effectively with Sigismund.
Nothing more? I'd say that's plenty. And why ask me for help? Why should I, of all people, take the risk?
It's not only your money we're interested in. You're well able to negotiate and trade. And if you were to take part in our plan...
Then I'd be helpful to you on two fronts. If you want me to support you, you must give me a good reason. Perhaps a favor in return.
Do you have something in particular in mind?
Well, one of the guests here has something that shouldn't get into the wrong hands.
Who's that?
Harman Alder. Now, if you were to switch these papers for the ones he brought with him, I would support your proposal.
Oh, fucking Jesus.
Have you fallen out with the town councillor?
No. Alder is innocent in the matter. My relatives from the House of Bartosz are behind it all. They're disappointed that I dared outlive my husband, and the fact that I'm handling his estates makes their hair stand on end.
And these papers I'm supposed to switch, what do they concern?
My relatives somehow dug up some trade contracts between myself and certain undesirable parties.
You were dealing with the enemy.
They were not the enemy at the time. My conscience is clear, but I'll rest easier when those papers are in my hands.
I'm supposed to rob an ally.
Harman Alder was given the documents to deliver to the council. He hasn't yet had a chance to look at them, so he won't even notice the difference.
And the papers I'm supposed to plant on Alder?
Just insignificant documents. If the incriminating ones disappeared without a trace, it would arouse suspicion.
All right, I'll help you. Or at least I'll give it a try.
Alder will surely have the papers in his saddlebags, which he left in the shed on the outer courtyard. Bring them to me, and put these there instead. But watch yourself. Odorim's groom has eyes everywhere.
Nobody has the likes of these.
Not even Bocek?
Fucking good one. Carrying all that shit.
Take a look at that. A nightingale surrounded by hawks.
It's quite unusual to see in corners like this.
Garbage truck coming. Get me garbage bin out. I'll just save this and jump on later.